Okay guys, so the other week I actually did a trailer breakdown of the Hollyoaks 6 Weeks of Summer trailer, which at that point had literally just dropped on Hollyoaks' YouTube channel. So earlier today, Hollyoaks actually released the new Autumn 2016 trailer, which actually does look really cool, so I'm actually going to be giving another trailer breakdown of that, because the last one actually got a lot of good feedback. So yeah, so with that out of the way, I'll let you watch the video and then obviously I'll break it down for you. So yeah, back in a minute.
It is a great pleasure to welcome you to the Halloween Spooktacular. You go and get married.
So what's the end do? They're not doing anything to try and find them. I'm gonna go and chase them up on my own.
Don't you dare.
Everybody, this is Nick.
You're drunk. I'm taking you mine.
That kid is mine. Don't mess with me on this one. I owe you nothing.
You're the reason I'm in here!
I love my kids, and I know that I'm a good dad.
I'm not the only one who can see what you're really like.
Standing up for yourself, are ya?
In good tone. I know exactly what she's going through, and it's not fair that I'm better and she's...
All I want is to be the person that he turns to when he's hurting.
Jesse needs to believe in this marriage between you and Diego. You have to stop hiding your real feelings, Joe.
Your daughter is a murderer. It's time to own up, Sienna.
We're closed. You sure about that?
She's in a dark hoodie with a skeleton design on her top. This girl is dangerous and needs to be caught.
I'm gonna kill him.
I'm about to marry the man that I love. What did you do to drive him away?
Cameron didn't do anything.
Thanks for putting a smile on her face.
I wish it was yours.
I am not your victim.
Who do you think you are?
Mercedes McQueen, bitch.
Okay, so first up, we actually got some screenshots of the new Hollyoaks titles, which actually released the other day. So I'll leave a link to them titles in the description below if you want to go and check them out. But for now, I'm not really going to cover them because there's a lot to cover in this video. Next up, we get some footage of what looks to be some sort of Halloween party type thing, which is actually heavily featured in the new Hollyoaks titles with the carousel and everything. So I don't know if everything in this is going to be sticking around in the village for, well, forever, or whether it's just over Halloween period. But it does look pretty cool, and it does look like, you know, the sort of thing that will be pretty interesting over the sort of autumn period. Okay, so if you're not actually up to date on what's going on with Joe and Mercedes at the moment, basically Mercedes is in prison, and Joe actually got Joanne's name wrong in the last video. I think I called her Claire or something, but no, Joe and Joe are basically together. And Joe Roscoe is saying that basically if Mercedes gets out, Joanne's got nothing to worry about and he's still going to stay with her. But in this screenshot, it looks like Mercedes is actually getting ready for a wedding. So I don't know if she's thinking that they're still together or something, or the most likely thing is that Joe is just going to go back with her. Next up, we've got Cameron's cousin. I forget what name is, so please let me know in the comments below if you do know. But she is basically telling Cameron that obviously, you know, no one's really doing anything to try and find Lockie. She obviously knows that something's going on, but she doesn't know what. So by the looks of it, Cameron's trying to get her off the case, basically. So I think she knows that he's got something to do with it, as you'll sort of find out later on in this video. But for now, yeah, I think that's pretty much all we can guess from that. I'm not sure what the deal is between Ellie and Freddie, but as far as I know, they are still not together. And by the looks of it, Freddie is sort of jealous that she is starting to move on. And she is with, I forget what his name is. I think she mentioned it early on. But he is one of the new characters. So if you want to find out who that is, definitely go and check out my other video where I'm talking about, you know, new characters. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. But Ellie is obviously that, you know, peed off at Freddie for getting involved, that she's slapping him in the face. And here it looks like Warren is quite pissed off with Maxine, because by the looks of it, she is treating this child as if it's Adam's, and obviously Warren wants to be part of its life if it's going to be his child. So yeah, he's obviously going to be pissed off, and he obviously wants something to do with the kid, and Adam's obviously going to be playing some sort of father to obviously the child. And this looks to be the first time we actually see Jack's brother Billy, who's obviously in prison, and he's been mentioned quite a few times already by Warren to Jack. And obviously Jack's visiting him in jail. So I don't know what the deal is there either. But I know there's some sort of beef going on there, so I'm assuming they're having it out in the prison. And this seems to be part of that ongoing storyline of whether Steve is sort of alright to go and see his kids or not. This is clearly part of the storyline that has actually been introduced in tonight's Channel 4 episode, basically of Mac abusing James as a child and obviously continuing on into his adult life. And then for some reason we have this in the trailer. So if for whatever reason you want to pause it and sort of enjoy it, totally can do so, but I'm not really going to go into much detail about that. Obviously Jade's cancer is obviously getting worse by this point. Honestly, I don't actually know what's going to go on. I don't know if she's going to stay in it. I don't know if she's going to die. But yeah, so your guess is good. Your guess is as good as mine. Again, we get this love triangle between Nathan, Lisa, and Cleo. Again, no idea how this is going to pan out. I'd have thought he's going to go for Lisa, but for all I know, could completely go the other way, or it could go neither way. No idea yet. Again, your guess is as good as mine. Now, I'm actually confused by this bit because Myra is actually telling what looks to be Celine that Jesse needs to believe in this marriage between her and Diego. So, by the sounds of it, it's going to be the marriage between Celine and Diego. So, like I said, I'm completely confused by that. If you can let me know what's going on there in the comments, down below. But yeah, I've, like I said, got no idea about what is happening there. And then we're back to the whole thing with Joe, Mercedes, and Joe. To be honest, I can see why, Joe and Joe aren't going to work out very well, because I personally wouldn't go out with someone with the same name as me. That's just me. But, like I said, I wouldn't blame Joe if he does end up going for Mercedes. And I think finally, with this screenshot, Warren's actually cracked that, Nico is a murderer and that Sienna is actually innocent in this and she shouldn't be in prison. Again, this is going to come back later on in the trailer, so I'll get back to that in a minute. But for now, that's all I'm going to say about that. And then we see Kim obviously coming back into the village. Now, I hope this whole thing that she's been missing, I hope all that isn't just going to be another one of Kim's episodes. And I'm hoping that someone did actually kidnap her and actually let her free, just because it'd be a better storyline, I think, than just the fact that she had another one of her little episodes. And then finally, the police are actually on to Nico, which is obviously pretty obvious. And by this next screenshot, again, it's pretty obvious that that Nico has Perry locked in this bunker. I think last time we actually saw these two on screen, they were having some sort of massive argument about basically Nico poisoning Tom. So yeah, obviously they're not the best of mates at the moment either. So again, I don't know how this is going to pan out, but hopefully Nico's actually going to get caught, because I don't know about you lot, but she is actually honestly starting to do my head in. Here you can obviously see that Nico is wearing that skeleton hoodie, where she's on the run from the police, and obviously she's in front of Tom, who's in his fancy dress costume for Halloween. So I think you can probably work out from this that Nico's probably going to get sussed out at some point over the Halloween period towards the end of October. Now here, Steve actually looks high, and obviously he's in the car with what looks to be Leah in the back. So I don't know if he's actually kidnapped her or anything. It would be a bit of a shock to me, but obviously take that with a grain of salt, because that's just speculation. I don't know if that's true. That's just me guessing. So like I said, take it with a grain of salt. Then we come back to Billy again, who's obviously in hospital. So by the looks of it, he's been beaten up because his daughter is saying, "Oh, I'm going to kill him." And I think you can probably guess from that she's probably going to be going on about Jack. I don't think Jack has done this to him, but I think he's probably going to be trying to frame it on Jack, just because obviously they have beef. Then we come back to the marriage of Joe and Mercedes. Again, no idea how this is going to pan out. Might go better than Joe and Lindsay, might not go better than Joe and Lindsay. Again, no idea. But obviously we'll just have to wait and see. Now, by this point, Cameron's cousin is obviously saying to Cameron, you know, what did you do to Lockie? And obviously the police are knocking around Cameron's door. Cameron's looking worried, so I'm assuming she's gone to the police. And basically Cameron's not going to have really long left before people find out that he did actually kill Lockie, assuming that he did kill him. But I think it's pretty obvious that he did. Honestly, I think Ellie is actually crying in bed like this because of something to do with Freddie. Again, I don't know what, but I think for some reason it's pretty clear that she is being like this because of him. And then we've got Scott standing up to his dad saying, you know, I'm not your victim and that. So I think that's pretty good that he's actually standing up to him. Again, obviously we don't really know much about that whole thing at this point, but I think we know enough, and I think we know that I think it's a pretty good thing that James is actually standing up for himself here. And then I think this is how Mercedes is going to react to Joe and Joanne. Obviously Mercedes looks to be driving this car, as you'll see in the next screenshot. And this, well, obviously that bloke, you know, in front of the Nightingales pub does look like Joe. So I think, you know, it's pretty obvious that that's what that's about. And then I'll let this bit speak for itself.
Who do you think you are?
Mercedes McQueen, bitch.
And other than one more screenshot with Sienna, that's about it. I'm not really going to include that though, just because it's not really important. She's not really saying anything. But anyway, pretty much that's what it is. If you enjoyed the video, drop it a like. If you didn't enjoy it, leave a comment down below. Let me know why you didn't enjoy it. Subscribe to my channel if you want more frequent videos like this. Also follow me on Twitter if you want to keep up to date on when I'm going to be bringing a new video out. I'll leave a link to my Twitter in the description below. But anyway, with that out of the way, cheers for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.